Good morning, everybody, and once again, welcome back to the channel. In this particular hands-on lab, we are going to learn how you can use Kafka Connect. So there are some messages flowing in Kafka topic. We're going to use Kafka Connect, and we're going to fan out to multiple iceberg sync. Yeah, that's right, multiple iceberg sync. So let's not waste any further time. Let's get straight into action. All right, so the first step is we're going to take an overview of the project directory. So let's take a look at that. So on a broad level, you will have this top level directory. You will have connectors where you will have the Iceberg Sink Connector, which we'll take a look at it shortly, of course. Then you will see a custom SMT. This is used for the transformation. So the incoming Kafka message, might want to apply some transformation. So that's the code for that. We're going to compile and build a jar, of course. Then you can see the Kafka Connect. Again, the jars would be there here. Again, right now there is no jar, but again, we'll take a look at that. Scripts, you will see init and setup. Init.py will, again, it's going to create these jar files, and setup is going to set up our Kafka Iceberg Sink Connector. Okay. Data producer is a Python file which is used to produce some fake messages into the Kafka topic. Docker compose stack, which will spin up all this, which is going to spin up Kafka Zookeeper, Kafka Connect, etc., etc. All right, so now the first step is we need to build the jar files, the Kafka Connect jar files that we need to build. So what I did is, again, I'm going to give you an overview, hopefully will help you out. Okay, so scripts init.shell, this uses a Docker container. Of course, ensure that you change your directory over here. Okay, so what this will do is, it's going to run the Docker container, the Java container, right? It's going to install Gradle on that. It's going to clone the Iceberg repository, and it's going to build. After building it, it's going to copy the jar files into other directory, and it's going to unzip them, and it's going to clean up all the resources. Okay. So again, some bunch of steps that we're going to do. Okay. So what I'll do is over here, I'll say /scripts and then init.shell. Again, this takes about almost like 5 minutes. So I'm going to pause the video. So as you can see now, it's building the jar files. So I'm going to pause the video right here. All right, so it was complete. It took about almost like 6 minutes there. So now if you open up the Kafka Connect folder, okay, after that you will see these folders, right? And in these folders, if you open up most likely this one right here, you will see all the jar files. So we have the jar files in the directory that we want. Okay, so that's good. Now what we want is we're gonna write a custom SMT. So whatever incoming messages are coming in the Kafka topic, we want to apply some transformation, right? I'll show you what that is. So let me share my screen again. Dataproducer.py. Okay. So you see this data. I have some mock data that we're going to publish into Kafka topic. I haven't done it yet, but again, I'm just showing you what the data looks like. So what I want to do is this site ID, right? Based on the site ID, I want to route the data. I want to have separate iceberg table. So let's say in the Kafka topic, you have site A, site B, site C, all data is coming in, right? And then for each site, I want iceberg table 1, iceberg table 2, iceberg table 3, iceberg table 4, and so on, right? That's what I want. So when you want to create iceberg table, the table name has to be in the format of namespace or database name dot the table name. So for example, my database is the name, right? So my database.site A is one iceberg table, my database.site B is another iceberg table, and so on, right? So for that, we can basically do a custom transformation. So based on this particular field, what I want to do is I want to add a prefix, right? Database prefix, right? So I have a custom SMT over here, as you can see. So I'm going to show you the code shortly. Very simple class, which is like prepend namespace. And if you observe, most likely this function over here, if I expand it, see, look here, update. So basically we get the incoming records, right? And based on the incoming records, we basically add we add a new column, right, called table name. This is not there in the this is not there. So this table name is going to be prefix plus whatever field I pass, right? So for example, just to make sure that you guys understand, so I'm going to pass in a site ID, right? And I'll show you how I'm going to do that shortly, right? So when I pass site ID, there will be a new column in the messages created called table name, which will be my database dot site A, right? So basically it's going to add that particular item, right? And again, we'll take a look at that when we'll see here, I mean, I'll show you once we do it. But again, here you can see, right, it takes a site ID, and this is a namespace. So whatever value is there inside site ID, so it will be my database dot that value. You got my point, right? What I'm trying to say. So anyway, this is the SMT that we want. So now we're gonna build the SMT. Let me see if I have a command for that. Okay. let me collapse this one here. Yeah, so we're gonna do docker run -rm volume mount. We're gonna mount the volume, and we're using OpenJDK 11 Slim container, and we're just gonna say Maven clean package, right? This will build it, right? So right now, if you see the folder custom SMT, there is no target folder, right? So go to your terminal again, navigate to this directory custom SMT, and execute the command. This will build the target folder or the snapshot jar file that we can now use in the Kafka Iceberg Sink Connector. Again, I encourage you guys to try these labs out, okay? Let me pause the video. This will take a little while. So let me pause and resume once this is done. All right, looks like it's done. Took about 31 seconds, right? Let me close all the directory now, okay? So if I come here, the custom SMT, see the target, and you can see there's a snapshot jar file that was created, right? This one right here. Cool, we are almost there. Now we can finally spin up the stack. So what we'll do, let me open up my Docker desktop, ensure there are no containers. Cool. So now we're gonna go to the main one directory back on the main directory of the project. So ls -l. You can see the Docker compose, right? So Docker compose of -- build -d. Oh, there's a syntax error, I guess. Oh, I have one hyphen extra. All right, so we are going to start all the containers, right? So now what you will see over here in my Docker desktop, you can see all a bunch of containers that I started up, right? Now what you can do is open up a browser and go to localhost 8080. This is where you will see the Kafka UI. You can inspect the topics, right? There's no topic right now, of course. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a new topic and publish some sample messages, okay? And again, all these commands are given so you can practice it on your local machine, right? So now I'll open up Docker desktop. You can see a Python container, exec on that, and you can see ls, right? There's a Python file which we're gonna run over here, python3 workspace / dataproducer.py. So I'm gonna run that, again run it. It'll publish some bunch of messages. I go to topics, I refresh, and very soon I'll see a sites topic over here. So I think just gonna wait a little bit here. Publish some more messages out there. Okay, let's see. Okay, sites, right? Here you can see messages. You can expand the messages. So again, this is going to be one iceberg table, right? So anything with that site, all the site A data would go into site A data, right? It's going to be a separate iceberg table, right? So based on this field, I want to do the routing. And you'll see in the consumer, we don't have a consumer group, which means nothing has started so far, right? Now, final part is the Kafka Iceberg Sink Connector, okay? For the S3Table buckets. Now, you see connectors, I'm going to go over the settings quickly. So hopefully makes sense. It's the best way to learn, right? You just do projects, like more and more projects, right? So here, topic is sites, okay? That's the topic we're going to use. This is the glue IRCC endpoint for S3Table buckets, right? As you can see. This is the warehouse, Saumil Shah dev, right? If I open up my S3, I think I should not have anything because I deleted it last night, I remember. Yeah, I don't have any tables here, right? So that's going to be that. Let me go here, okay? So that's my warehouse, okay? Over here, look, this is important, okay? So what we are doing is iceberg.table.route field is going to be table name, which means anything for site A should be routed to site A iceberg sink, right? That's basically what it means, right? And again, we are using the JSON converter for deserializing the messages, right? And here you can see that custom SMT now, right? .com.example.kafka.transform.prepend namespace. Remember we built that jar file, so we're going to use that class, and we're saying, hey, this the custom SMT is going to take a site ID, and I want to prepend my database to it, my database dot whatever XYZ, right? So now if you open up the Kafka messages, just to like show you, right, before we run anything, I go to messages, open one of them. Oh yeah, it's not going to come up here because once I run the Kafka Iceberg Sink, that's when it's going to show up, okay? Yeah. So now what we'll do is we're going to set up this the connector, right? And again, I try to make it easy for you, right? So there's a file called setup.shell. Just run that. It's going to set it up. So /script setup.shell. As you can see, the Iceberg Sink connector has been set up. Now what you will see, again, most likely after, okay, you can see here, right? The consumer group, connect Iceberg Sink, right? One is active. And you can also see the consumer lag over here. Let's see if it started consuming messages. So far it's gonna start consuming messages pretty soon. So we're gonna be a little patient. And let's quickly go to the settings here. Just want to make, one more thing. So play with this, of course, Iceberg controller commit interval. So this basically means after how much interval it should like flush the messages to the Iceberg Sink, right? So that's that. So again, all the configuration are there. Now, then of course feel free to like tweak it, play it, learn more, like try things out, right? So at this point, if I refresh, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna try to publish some more messages into the topic right now. So let's do Python. Let's do that one. So basically, I added some more messages, and here you can also see the total number of messages. So it's about 120 messages so far in the topic. Okay, and if I go to the consumer group, here you can see the lag right now is 57, which means it started consuming the messages so far. Okay, so if I open up, right, the end offset is 120, consumer lag is 57. Okay, again, it's gonna work because we are running everything locally, right? So now if I go to Amazon S3 tables, right, if I just refresh here, I should see the tables. Look, site A, site B, site C, site D. So basically, for each particular site, we were able to create an Iceberg table, right? So let's wait over here. Let's try to publish some more messages, hopefully. And then let's go here. So here you can see the consumer lag, you can see the topic, and all the messages flowing here, right? So now I'm gonna wait for a while because ideally, because we have that, where is that config? Yeah, of course, I think this is like what, 1 minute or something. So after that, it's gonna like flush data to the Amazon S3Table buckets, and compaction and everything is taken care of by Amazon, so I don't have to worry about all of that. So let me try to query this using Athena. Of course, you can use any open source engine as well. Let me see. Let me actually do preview table over here. Select everything from my database.site. Oh, we have some data now. So as you can see, right, we have messages coming into the Iceberg S3 table buckets now. Yeah, that's about it, right? So I hope you enjoyed. Again, there's a lot in this lab, I believe. Of course, the entire stack, the settings, the configuration, building the jar file, adding transformation, and seeing how everything works in general. And of course, like querying it, right? You can query this with Athena, Spark, DuckDB, Trino, of course, Starox, any open source engine, right? With that being said, I hope you enjoyed. I'm still polishing the lab, and I'll add all the resources on GitHub page shortly. But yeah, if you have time this weekend, please go ahead and try this lab out. With that being said, if you have any other questions, let me know. Until then, keep smiling, keep programming, and I'll see you in the next video.